pirate glass. And to make us more than merry, let the pirate bumper pass. For today our pirate prentice rises from indentures freed. Strong his arm and keen his scent is, he's a pirate now indeed. Here's good luck to Frederick's ventures, Frederick's out of his indentures. 1 and 20 now he's rising, and alone he's fit to fly, which were bent on signalizing with unusual revelry. Here's good luck to Frederick's ventures, Frederick's out of his indentures. Pour the pirate sherry, fill the pirate glass, and to make us more than merry, let the pirate bumper pass.
Yes, Frederick, from today, you rank as a full-blown member of our band!
Yeah! Friends, I thank you all for your kindly wishes. Would that I could repay them as they deserve.
What do you mean?
Today I'm out of my indentures, and today I leave you forever.
This is quite unaccountable. A keener hand at scuttling a cunard or hunting out a P&O never shipped a handspike.
Yes, I did my best for you. And why? It was my duty under my indentures. And I am the slave of duty. As a child, I was regularly apprenticed to your pirate band. It was through an error. No matter, the mistake was ours, not yours, and I was in honor bound by it.
An error? What error?
I may not tell you, for it would reflect upon my well-loved Ruth.
Nay, dear master, my mind has long been gnawed by the cankering tooth of mystery. Better have it out at once. When Frederick was a little lad, he proved so brave and daring. His father thought he'd apprentice him to some career seafaring. I was, alas, his nursery maid, and so it fell to my lot to take and bind the promising boy, apprentice to a pilot. A life not bad for a hearty lad, though surely not a high lot. Though I'm a nurse, you might do worse than make your boy a pilot.
Yes. Over there.
I was a stupid nursery maid on breakers always steering, and I did not catch the word aright through being hard of hearing, mistaking my instructions which within my brain did gyrate. I took and bound the promising boy, apprentice to a pirate. Sad mistake it was to make and doom him to this vile lot. I bound him to a pirate, you, instead of to a pilot.
Seriously, Alice.
Oh, pardon, Frederick, pardon!
Rise, sweet one, I have long pardoned you.
Oh, the two words were so much alike.
They were. They still are, though years have rolled over their heads. But this afternoon, my obligation ceases. Individually, I love you all with affection unspeakable. But collectively, I look upon you with a disgust that amounts to absolute detestation. My beloved friends, for such is my sense of duty, that once out of my indentures, I should feel myself bound to devote myself heart and soul to your extermination.
Poor lad! Poor lad!
Well, Frederick, if you conscientiously feel it is your duty to destroy us, we cannot blame you for acting on that conviction. Always act in accordance with the dictates of your conscience, my boy, and chance the consequences. Yeah!
Besides, we can offer you but little temptation to remain with us. We don't seem to make piracy pay. I'm sure I don't know why, but we don't.
Oh, I know why, but alas, I mustn't tell you. It wouldn't be right.
Why not, my boy? It's only 11:57. 8. And you are one of us until the clock strikes 12.
True. And until then, you are bound to protect our interests.
Well, then, it is my duty as a pirate to tell you that you are too tender-hearted. For instance, you make a point of never attacking a weaker party than yourselves, and when you attack a stronger party, you invariably get thrashed.
There is some truth in that.
Then, again, you make a point of never attacking an orphan.
Of course. We are orphans ourselves. And we know what it is.
Yes, but it has got about. And what is the consequence? Everyone we capture says he's an orphan. The last 3 ships we took proved to be manned entirely by orphans, and so we had to let them go. One would think Great Britain's mercantile navy was recruited solely from her orphanile asylums, which we know is not the case.
Ow, but hang it all! You wouldn't leave us absolutely merciless.
There's my difficulty. Until 12, I would. After 12, I wouldn't. No, was ever a man placed in so delicate a situation?
And Ruth, your own Ruth, whom you love so well, who's won her middle-aged way into your boyish heart. What is to become of her?
Oh! He will take you with him.
Well, Ruth, I feel some difficulty about you. It is true I admire you very much, but I have been constantly at sea since I was 8 years old, and yours is the only woman's face I have seen during that time. I think it is a sweet face.
Oh, it is.
I say I think it is. But as I have never had the chance of comparing you with other women, it is just possible I may be mistaken.
True.
What a terrible thing it would be if I were to marry this innocent person and then to find out that she is, on the whole, plain.
Plain? Oh, Ruth is. Well.
Yes, very well indeed.
Yes, there are the remains of a fine woman about Ruth.
You really think so?
I do.
Well, then I will not be so selfish as to take her from you. In justice to her and in consideration for you, I will leave her behind.
No! No, this must not be. No, we are rough men. Rough! Who lead a rough life. Rough! But we are not so utterly heartless as to deprive thee of thy love. I think I am right in saying that there is not one here who would rob thee of this inestimable treasure. For all the world holds dear. Not one! No, I thought there wasn't. Keep thy love, Frederick. Keep thy love. Farewell, Frederick, and when your process of extermination begins, let our deaths be as swift and painless as you can conveniently make them.
Oh, I will. By the love I have for you, I swear it. Would that you could render this extermination unnecessary by accompanying me back to civilization.
No, Frederick, it cannot be. I don't think much of our profession, but contrasted with respectability, it is comparatively honest. It's true. Oh, and Frederick, don't swim. Take the deed! And die a pirate king! Oh, better far to live and die under the brave flag I fly than play a sanctimonious part, the pirate head in a pirate heart. Await the cheating world go new, where pirates all are well to do, but I'll be true to the song I sing, and live and die a pirate. am a pirate king. And it is a glorious thing to be a pirate king. For I am a pirate king.
Hurrah, for a pirate king.
And it is a glorious thing to be a pirate king.
It is hurrah for a pirate king, hurrah for a pirate king.
When I sally forth to seek my prey, I help myself in a royal way. I think of you more ships, it's true that a well-bred poor of to. But many a king on a first-class throne, if he wants to call his crown his own, must manage somehow to get through more dirty work than ever I do.
It is hurrah for a pirate king, hurrah for a pirate.
Stop the tide, everyone! Gather the shot! Gather the clutter! Yes, on a birthday party.
Fare thee well, Ruth.
Oh, take me with you! I cannot live if I'm left behind.
Ruth, I will be perfectly candid with you. You are very dear to me, as you know, but I must be circumspect. You are considerably older than I, and a lad of 21 usually looks for a wife of 18.
A wife of 18. You will find me a wife of 1,000.
No, but I shall find you a wife of 47, and that is quite enough. Ruth! Ruth! Tell me candidly and without reserve, compared with other women, how are you?
I will answer you truthfully, master. I have a slight cold, but otherwise I'm quite well.
I'm sorry for your cold, but I was referring rather to your personal appearance. Compared with other women, are you beautiful?
I have been told so, dear master.
Ah, but lately?
Oh, no, years and years ago.
What do you think of yourself?
It is a delicate question to answer, but I think I'm a fine woman.
That is your candid opinion?
Yes, I should be deceiving you if I told you otherwise.
Oh, I believe you, Ruth, for I'm sure you would not practice upon my inexperience. I wish to do the right thing, and if I say if you are a fine woman, then your age shall be no obstacle to our union. Hark, surely I hear voices. Who is there to venture in all that inaccessible lair? Can it be Custom House? No, it does not sound like Custom House.
Confusion. It is the voices of young girls. If he should hear them, I am lost.
By all that's marvelous, a bevy of beautiful maidens.
Ah, lost!
How lovely, how surpassingly lovely is the plainest of them. What grace, what delicacy, what refinement. And Ruth told me she was beautiful. Oh, false one, you have deceived me.
I have deceived you.
Yes, deceived me. You told me you were fair as gold.
And master, am I not so?
And now I see you're plain and old.
I'm sure I'm not a jobso.
Upon my innocence you play.
I'm not the one to plot so.
Your face is lined, your hair is gray.
It gradually got so.
Faithless woman to deceive me, I who trusted so.
Master, master, do not leave me. Hear me ere you go.
Faithless woman,
Master, master.
faithless woman,
Master, master, do not
faithless
leave
woman
me.
to
Do not
deceive me,
leave
I who trusted so. Faithless woman to deceive me, I who trusted so.
My love without reflecting, oh, do not be rejecting. Take a maiden tender, her affection raw and green, has very highest rating, has been accumulating. Summer 17. Summer 17. Don't be loving, master. Crush me with disaster. What is such a dower to the dower I have here? Don't be loving, master. Crush me with disaster. What is such a dower to the dower I have here? My love
As you are
unabating
stating,
has been accumulating 47
year.
47
Faithless woman to deceive me, I who trusted so. Faithless woman to deceive me, I who trusted so. Oh, what shall I do? I dare not appear before these gentle maidens in this alarming costume. No, no, I must remain in close concealment until I can appear in decent clothing.
Climbing over rocky mountains, skipping wavy left and mountains, passing where the willows quiver, passing where the willows quiver, by the ever rolling river, slowly with the summer rain, threading long and leafy days, starting with unnumbered days, starting with unnumbered daisies, skipping coming rocket passes, climb the hardy little lasses till the rising shore they gain, stealing from the rocket passes, climb the hardy little lasses till the rising shore they gain.
Let us gaily tread the measure, make the most of fleeting leisure, hail it as a true ally, though it perish by and by.
Hail it as a true ally, though it perish by and by.
Every moment brings a treasure of its own especial pleasure, though the moments quickly die. Greet them gaily as they fly. Greet them gaily as they fly.
Though the the moments quickly die. Greet them gaily as they fly. Far away from toil and care, reveling in fresh sea air. Here we live and reign alone in a world that's all our own. Here in this our rocky den, far away from mortal men, we'll be queens and make decrees. They may honor them who please. We'll be queens and make decrees. They may honor them who please. Let us gaily tread the hop their measure. Make the most of fleeting pleasure. Hail it as our true ally. Go and perish by and by. Hail it as our true ally. Go and perish by and by. Let us gaily tread the measure. Make the most of fleeting pleasure. Hail it as a true ally.
What a picturesque spot. I wonder where we are.
And I wonder where Papa is. We've left him ever so far behind.
Oh, he will be here presently. Remember, poor Papa is not as young as we are, and we came over a rather difficult country.
But how thoroughly delightful it is to be so entirely alone. Why, in all probability, we are the first human beings who ever set foot in this enchanting spot.
Oh, except mermaids. This is the very place for mermaids.
Who are only human beings down to the waist.
And who cannot be strictly said to set foot anywhere. Tails they may, but feet they cannot.
But what shall we do until Papa arrives?
Well, we are quite alone, and the sea is as smooth as glass. What if we take off our shoes and our stockings and paddle?
Yes!
Stop, ladies, pray.
A mermaid?
I did not intended to intrude myself upon your notice in this effective but alarming costume. But under these peculiar circumstances, it is my bounden duty to inform you that your proceedings here will not be unwitnessed.
But who are you? Sir, speak.
I am a pirate. Ladies, do not shun me. This evening I renounce my vile profession, and to that end, O pure and peerless maidens, O blushing buds of ever-blooming beauty, I soar at heart, implore your kind assistance.
How pitiful his tale.
How rare his beauty.
How pitiful his tale. How rare his beauty.
Oh, is there not one maiden breast which does not feel the moral beauty of making worldly interest subordinate to sense of duty? Who would not give up willingly all matrimonial ambition to rescue such a one as I from his unfortunate position? From his position, to rescue such a one as I from his unfortunate position. Oh, is there there not one maiden here whose homely face and bad complexion
Did he just call us ugly?
caused all hope to disappear of ever winning man's affection? To such a one, if such there be, I swear by heaven's arch above you, if you will cast your eyes on me, however plain you be, I love you, however plain you be. If you will cast your eyes on me, however plain you be, I love you, I love you, I love, you.
There's one maiden here whose homely face and bad complexion have caused all her to disappear of ever winning man's affection.
Not one,
No, not one.
not one.
No. Yes,
Oh, sister, step to pity's name, for shame. It's true that he has gone astray, but pray, is that to reason good and true? Why you should all be deaf to pity's name?
the question is, had he not been a thing of beauty, would she be swayed by quite as keen a sense of duty?
For shame, for shame, for shame.
know, says we ought to stay, while sympathy exclaims, free them from your tether, play at other games, leave them here together.
Her case may any day be yours, my dear, or mine. Let her make her hay while the sun doth shine. Let us compromise. Our hearts are not of leather. Let us shut our eyes and talk about the weather.
Yes, yes, let's talk about the weather. How beautifully blue the sky, the grass is rising very high. Continue fine, I hope it may again. It rained like yesterday, tomorrow it may pour again. I hear the country wants some rain, and people say I know not why that we shall have a warm July. Tomorrow it may pour again. I hear the country wants some rain, and people say I know not why that we shall have a warm July. Tomorrow it may pour again. I hear everything and wish for only duty to find her daylight bring with such exceeding beauty. Did ever maiden close her eyes on waking sadness to dream of such exceeding gladness?
Ah yes, this is exceeding gladness.
How beautifully blue the sky, the glass is rising very high. Continue fine, I hope it may again. It rained like yesterday, tomorrow it may pour again. I hear the country wants some rain, and people say I know not why that we shall have a warm July. Tomorrow it may pour again. I hear the country wants some rain, and people say I know not why that we shall have a warm July. Tomorrow it may pour again. I
Did
hear the
ever pirate roll his soul in guilty dreaming and wake to find that soul with peace and virtue beaming?
beautifully blue the sky, the glass is rising very high. Continue fine, I hope it may again. It rained like yesterday, tomorrow it may pour again. I hear the country wants some rain. Never mind, say you this mission. Tomorrow
Musician, Stay, we must not lose our senses. Men who stick at no offenses will anon be here. Piracy, the dreadful trade, is prey. You get you hence, young ladies, while the coast is clear.
No, we must not lose our senses. If they stick at no offenses, we should not be here. Piracy, the dreadful trade, is nice companions for young ladies. Let us be so. Too late, too late.
First rate opportunity to get married with impunity. Indulge in the felicity of our fountain domesticity. We shall quickly be personified, officially matrimonified by a doctor of divinity who is located in this vicinity.
We have missed our opportunity of escaping with impunity. So we're welcome the felicity of our maiden domesticity. We shall quickly be personified, consequently matrimonified by a doctor of divinity who is located in this vicinity.
The doctor of divinity who resides in this vicinity. The doctor of divinity.
Hold, monsters! Ere your pirates' caravansary proceed against our will to wed us all. Just bear in mind that we are wards in chancery and father is a major general.
We'd better pause, or danger may befall. Their father is a major general.
Yes, yes, he is a major general.
Yes, I am a major general.
It's a major general.
And it is a glorious thing to be a major general.
It is hurrah for the major general. Hurrah for the major general.
Wait, you didn't know your father was a major general.
a simple and quadratical. Above I know a theorem, I'm teeming with a lot of news. With many triple facts about the square of the hypotenuse.
With many triple facts about the square of the hypotenuse. With many triple facts about the square of the hypotenuse. With many triple facts about the square of the hypotenuse.
I'm very good at integral and differential calculus. I know the scientific names of beings and immaculate. In short, I'm matter, vegetable, animal, and mineral. I am the very model of a modern major general.
In short, a man is vegetable, animal, and mineral. He is the very model of a modern major general.
I know a million history, Sir Arthur's and Sir Caradox. I answer harder cross-ex, I have a pretty face for paradox. I quote in elegiacs all the crimes below Gabalus and Connex. I can floor peculiarities, parabolas. I can anecdote rap rails from Derridas and Sophonies. I know the croaking chorus from the frogs of Aristophanes. But I can have a bugle, but I've heard the music Sinophore. Oh, got it! And whistle all the S and infernal nonsense, pinafore!
And whistle all the S and infernal nonsense, pinafore! And whistle all the S and infernal nonsense, pinafore! And whistle all the S and infernal nonsense, pinafore!
Then I can write a washing bill in Babylon and cuneiform and tell you every detail of Caractacus' uniform and short in matters vegetable, animal, and mineral. I am the very model of a modern major general.
When short in matters vegetable, animal, and mineral, he is the very model of a modern major general.
In fact, when I know what is meant by mamelon and ravelin, when I can tell at sight a Mauser rifle from a javelin, when such affairs as sorties and surprises I'm more wary at, and when I know precisely what is meant by commissariat, when I have learned that progress has been made in modern gunnery, when I know more of tactics than a novice in a nunnery, in short, when I have a smattering of elemental strategy. Say about the Major General has never strategy!
Say about the Major General has never strategy! You'll say about the Major General has never strategy! You'll say about the Major General has never strategy!
For my military knowledge, so I'm plugging in adventure years, only prepared down to the beginning of the century, but still it matters vegetable, animal, and mineral. I am the very model of a modern Major General!
But still it matters vegetable, animal, and mineral. He is the very model of a modern Major General.
Can you do that one more time, but really, really fast?
What's this? In fact, I know what is the Babylon and Revelin. I can tell a sight of as a rapper from a javelin. When such a friend stories, it's the prices I'm aware. And when in the precisely what is meant by commissariat, when I learn progress has been made in modern gunnery, when I know more tactics than a novice and a nunnery, and never smattering of elemental strategy. You'll say about a Major General has never brought a horse!
The Major General has never brought a horse! Say about the Major General has never brought a horse! Say about the Major General has never brought a horse!
For my military knowledge, so I'm plugging in adventure, only prepared down to the beginning of the century, but still a man is vegetable, animal, and mineral. I am the very model of a modern Major General!
He is the very model of a modern Major General!
Very amusing, dear father.
And now that I've introduced myself, I should like to have some idea of what's going on.
Permit me. I shall explain in 2 words. We propose. Oh, to marry your daughters.
Dear me! It's so real, but you mustn't do that. May I ask, this is a picturesque uniform, but I'm not familiar with it. What are you?
We are all single gentlemen.
Yes, I gathered that. Anything else?
No, nothing else.
Father, don't listen to them. They are pirates. The famous Pirates of Penzance.
The Pirates of Penzance! I have often heard of them.
All except this gentleman, who was a pirate once, but who is out of his indentures for today, and who means to lead a blameless life evermore.
But wait a bit! I object to pirates as sons-in-law.
We object to Major Generals as fathers-in-law.
Yes.
But we waive that right. We do not press it. We look. All right.
Huh! idea. And do you mean
to say that you would deliberately rob me of these, the sole remaining props of my old age, and leave me to go through the remainder of my life unfriended, unprotected, and alone?
Well, yes, that's the idea.
Yeah, pretty much.
Tell me, have you ever known what it is to be an orphan?
Here we are again!
I ask you! Have you ever known what it is to be an orphan?
Orphan.
Oh, yes, orphan. Have you ever known what it is to be one?
I say, orphan!
Orphan, orphan, orphan!
I don't think we quite understand one another.
I ask you, have you ever known what it is to be an orphan? And you say orphan. As I understand, you are merely repeating the word orphan to show that you understand me.
I did not repeat the word orphan.
Pardon me, you did indeed.
I only repeated it once.
True, but you repeated it.
But not orphan!
Stop. I think I can see where we are getting confused. When you say orphan, did you mean orphan? A person who has lost his parents or often, frequently?
I beg pardon. I see what you mean.
You said often, frequently.
No, only once.
Exactly. You said often, frequently, only once.
But not orphan!
Oh, man of dark and dismal fate, forgo your cruel employ. Have a pity on my lonely state. I am an orphan boy.
An orphan boy.
An orphan boy.
How sad, an orphan boy.
These children whom you see are all that I can call my own.
Poor fellow.
Take them away from me, and I shall be indeed alone.
Poor fellow.
If pity you can feel, leave me my soul remaining joy. See at your feet they kneel, your hearts you cannot steal. Against the sad, sad tale of the lonely orphan boy.
Poor fellow. See at our feet they kneel, our hearts we cannot steal. Against the sad, sad tale of the lonely orphan boy. The orphan boy. See at our feet they kneel, our hearts we cannot steal. Against the tale of the lonely orphan boy.
I'm telling a terrible story, but it doesn't diminish my glory. But they would have taken my daughters over the billowy waters if I hadn't an elegant diction, indulged in innocent fiction, which is not in the same category as telling a regular terrible story.
He's telling a terrible story, but it's not a dangerous glory. Was able to take his daughters over the billowy waters. It is easy in elegant diction to call it an innocent fiction, but it comes to the same category as telling a regular terrible story. It is easy in elegant diction to call it an innocent fiction, but it comes to the same category as telling a regular story. times involves the crime of stealing. We'd rather think that we're not all together void of feeling. Although we live by strife, we're always sorry to begin it. For what we ask is life without a touch of poetry in it. Liberty, our pirate rules protect you, and honorary members of our band, we do elect you.
For he is an orphan boy!
Yes, so often the orphan boy!
And it is sometimes a useful thing to be an orphan boy.
It is so rough in the orphan boy, for rough in the orphan boy. Oh, happy day with joyous glee, they will away and marry me. Oh, happy day with joyous glee, they will away and marry me. Should it be fall auspiciously, the sisters all of bridesmaids be. Should it be fall auspiciously, the sisters all of bridesmaids be. Oh, happy day with joyous glee, they will away and marry me. Should it be fall auspiciously, the sisters all of bridesmaids be. Should it be fall auspiciously, the sisters all will bridesmaids be.
Oh, master, hear one word I do implore you. Remember Ruth, your Ruth who kneels before you.
Yes, yes, remember Ruth who kneels before you.
Oh, way you did deceive me.
Oh, way you did deceive him.
Oh, do not leave me.
Oh, do not leave her.
Oh, way you grieved me.
Oh, way you grieved him.
I wish you'd leave me.
We wish to leave him.
I observed the magnanimity, misplaced the place and duty. There was such opportunity to get married with impunity. When we gave up the felicity of abounded domesticity, though a doctor of divinity is located in this vicinity.
Doctor
Frederick, cannot you, in the calm excellence of your wisdom, reconcile it with your conscience to do something that will ease my father's sorrow?
What?
Will you help him?
Oh, I will try, dear Mabel, but why does he sit night after night in this drafty old ruin?
Why do I sit here? To escape from the pirates' clutches, I describe myself an orphan. And heaven help me, I am no orphan. I come here to humble myself before the tombs of my ancestors and to implore their pardon for having brought dishonor upon the family escutcheon.
The what? Family crest.
But you forget, sir, you only bought the property a year ago, and the stucco on your baronial castle is scarcely dry.
Frederick, in this chapel are ancestors. You cannot deny that. With the estate, I bought the chapel and its contents, and while I don't know whose ancestors they were, I know whose ancestors they are, and I shudder to think that their descendant by purchase, if I may so describe myself, should have brought disgrace upon what I have no doubt was an unstained escutcheon.
Be comforted. Had you not acted as you did, these reckless men would have assuredly called in the nearest clergyman and married your large family on the spot.
I thank you for your prophet's solace, but it is unavailing.
Oh.
I assure you, Friedrich, that such is the remorse and anguish I feel at the abominable falsehood by which I escaped these easily deluded pirates, that I would go this very night to their simple-minded chief and confess all. Did I not fear that the consequences would be most disastrous to myself? At what time does your expedition march against these scoundrels?
At 11. And before midnight, I hope to have atoned for my involuntary association with these pestilent scourges by sweeping them from the face of the earth. And then, dear Mabel, you will be mine.
Are your devoted followers at hand?
They are. They only await my orders.
Then
Frederick,
let your escort lion-hearted be summoned to receive a general's blessing ere they depart upon their dread adventure.
Dear sir, they come.
Exciting, yes.
When the foeman bears his steel, we uncomfortable feel, and we find the wisest thing is to slap our chests and sing ta-ra-ta-ra. For when threatened with the mutes, and your heart is in your boots, there is nothing brings it round like the trumpet's martial sound, like the trumpet's martial sound.
Go, ye heroes, go to glory. Go, ye die in combat glory. Ye shall live in song and story. Go to immortality. Go to death and go to slaughter. Die, and every Cornish daughter with her tears your grave shall water. Go, ye heroes, go and die.
Though to us it's evident, these attentions are well meant. Such expressions don't appear, calculated meant to cheer. Who are going to meet their fate in a highly nervous state. Still, it's very evident these attentions are well meant.
Before our links we sever, we will say farewell.
all the vain mercy pray.
We observe to great distress on the risks that on us press, and of reference a lack of our chance of coming back. Still, perhaps it would be wise not to carp or criticize, for it's very evident these attentions are well meant.
Yes, it's very evident. These attentions are well meant. Evident. Yes, well meant. Evident.
Ah, yes, well meant. When the wilderness feels the uncomfortable feel and we find the wise to sing is to slap our cheeks and sing always rising with the news and your heart is in your boots There is nothing rings and round like the trumpet's martial sound, like the trumpet's martial sound.
Way away! These pirates slay! Then do not stay! Then why this delay?
Yes, we go.
Yes, forward on the foe! Yes, forward on the foe!
Yes, but you don't go.
We go! Yes, forward on the foe! Yes, forward on the foe!
Yes, but you don't go.
We go!
Now for the pirate's lair. Oh, joy unbounded. Oh, sweet relief. Oh, rapture unexampled. At last I may atone in some slight measure for the repeated acts of theft and pillage, which had a sense of duty's stern dictation. I, circumstance's victim, have been guilty.
Young Frederick,
Who calls
your late commander.
And I, your little Ruth,
Oh, mad intruders, how dare ye face me? Know ye not, who rash ones, that I have doomed you to extermination?
Have mercy on us. Hear us ere you slaughter.
I do not think I ought to listen to you, but mercy should alloy our stern resentment. And so I will be merciful. Say on.
when you had left our pirate fold, we tried to raise our spirits faint, according to our custom old, with quip and quibble quaint. But all in vain the quips we heard we lay and sobbed upon the rocks, until to somebody occurred a startling paradox.
A paradox.
A paradox, a most ingenious paradox. We quips and quibbles heard in flocks, but not to beat this paradox.
A paradox, a paradox, a most ingenious paradox.
A paradox.
We knew your taste for curious quips, for cranks and contradictions queer, and with laughter on our lips we wished you there to hear. We said if we could tell it him how Frederick would the joke enjoy, and so we risked both life and limb to tell it to our boy.
A paradox.
That paradox, that most ingenious paradox, we quips and quibbles heard in flocks, but none to beat this paradox. A paradox, a paradox, a most ingenious paradox. A paradox. For some ridiculous reason, to which, however, I have no desire to be disloyal, some person in authority, I don't know who, very likely the Astronomer Royal, has decided that although for such a beastly month as February, 28 days as a rule are plenty, 1 year in every 4 his days shall be reckoned as 9 and 20. Through some singular coincidence, I should be surprised if it were owing to the agency of an ill-natured fairy. You are the victim of this clumsy arrangement, having been born in the year on the 29th of February. So, by a simple arithmetical process, you shall easily discover that though you live 21 years, yet we go by birthdays. You're only 5 and a little bit over.
Dear me, let's see. Yes, yes, with yours my figures do agree. How quaint the ways of paradox, how common sense she gaily mocks. Yet counting in the usual way is 21 I've been alive. Yet reckoning by my natal day, I am a little boy of
He
5.
is a little boy of 5. A paradox, a most ingenious paradox. A paradox, a curious paradox. A most ingenious paradox.
Oh, this is most curious, most absurdly whimsical. 5 1/4. One wouldn't think it to look at me.
You are glad now will be found that you spared us. You never would have forgiven yourself when you discovered you killed 2 of your comrades.
You're not my comrade.
I'm afraid you don't appreciate the delicacy of your position. You were apprenticed to us.
Until I reach my 21st year.
No! Not until you reached your 21st birthday. And, going by birthdays, you are as yet as 5 and a quarter.
You don't mean to say you're actually going to hold me to that?
Oh, no. We merely remind you of the fact, and we leave the rest to your sense of duty.
Your sense of duty.
Don't put it on that footing as I was merciful to you just now. Be merciful to me. I implore you not to insist on the letter of your bond, just as the cup of happiness is at my lips.
We insist on nothing. We content ourselves with pointing out to you your duty.
Duty.
You have appealed to my sense of duty, and my duty is all too clear. I abhor your infamous calling. I shudder at the thought that I was ever mixed up with it. But duty is before all. At any price, I will do my duty.
Yes. Bravely spoken. Come, you are one of us once more.
Lead on. I follow.
Oh, horror! What's the matter?
Ought I to tell you? No, I cannot do it. And yet it's one of your band.
Speak out! I charge you by the sense of conscientiousness to which we have never yet appealed in vain.
General Stanley.
Yes?
Yes.
The father of my Maybelle.
Yes.
He escaped from you on the plea that he was an orphan.
He did? Oh, he did?
It breaks my heart to betray the honored father of the girl I adore.
Break it.
But as your apprentice, I have no alternative.
None.
Then it is my duty to tell you
Yes.
that General Stanley.
General Stanley.
General Stanley.
General Stanley.
Is no.
Is no.
Is no.
Wait, General
no,
Stanley.
or-
Wait, you don't mean to say that
no.
General Stanley. No!
Orphan!
Frederick, when you say orphan, do you mean orphan, a person who has lost his parents, or often, frequently?
Orphan. A person who's lost his parents.
What?
And more than that, he never was one.
Am I to understand that in order to save his contemptible life, he dare practice upon our credulous simplicity? Our revenge shall be swift and terrible. We shall go and collect our band and attack Tremorden Castle this very night.
But stay!
Not a word! He is doomed!
Away, away, my heart's on fire. I burn this base deception to repay. This very night, my vengeance star shall cut itself before away, away.
Away, away, here I expire. I find my duty hard to do today. My heart is filled with anguish dire. Strikes me to the core, away, away.
False and foul, he tricked us of our pride. The vengeance howl, the pirates all decide. On make to stand, he softened with his lies. And in return, tonight the traitor dies.
Yes, yes, tonight the traitor dies.
Yes, yes,
tonight the traitor dies.
Tonight he dies.
Yes, or early tomorrow.
These girls like
They
lies.
will not bring sorrow.
The ones are smart.
In their natures they cherish.
And others who plot.
True music shall perish.
Tonight he dies, yes, or early tomorrow. His girls likewise they will not turn sorrow. The ones lost but in their natures they cherish. And all who thought to abuse it shall perish. Away, away, away. Tonight the traitor dies. Away, away, tonight, tonight, tonight. The traitor dies tonight.
All is prepared. Your gallant crew await you. My Frederick in tears. It cannot be that lion heart quails at the coming conflict.
No, Mabel, no. A terrible disclosure has just been made. Mabel, my dearly loved one, I bound myself to serve the pirate captain until I reached my 21st birthday.
But you are 21.
I've just discovered that I was born in leap year, and that birthday will not be reached by me till 1940.
Oh, horrible catastrophe appalling.
And so farewell.
Frederick, hear me. Stay, Frederick, stay. They have no legal claim. No shadow of a shame will fall upon thy name. Stay, Frederick, stay.
Nay, Mabel, nay. Tonight I quit these walls. The thought my soul appalls. But when stern duty calls, I must obey.
Stay, Frederick, stay.
Nay, Mabel,
They
nay.
have no claim.
But duty's name, the thought my soul
The shame will
appalls.
fall
Stern
upon thy
duty
name.
calls.
Stay, Frederick, stay.
I must obey.
Oh, leave me not to pine alone.
must I leave thee here in endless night to dream, where joy is dark and drear, and sorrow all supreme, and nature day by day will sing in altered tone this weary roundelay. He loves thee, he is gone. La 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 la, la 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 la. He loves thee, he is gone. La la la, la la. In 1940 I of age shall be. I'll then return and find you. I declare it.
It seems so long.
Swear that till then you will be true to me.
Yes, I'll be strong. By all the Stanleys dead and gone, I swear it. Oh, here is love, and here is truth, and here is food for joy and laughter. I will be faithful to my suit till we are wed, and even after.
Oh, here is love and here is truth.
Oh, here is love, and here is truth.
I will be faithful to my
I will be faithful to my
suit. We are
suit.
wed and even after.
Till we are wed.
And even after.
Yes, even after. Oh, here is love, and here is truth, and here is food for joyous laughter. I will be faithful to my suit till we are wed, and even after. I will be faithful to my suit.
We are wed and even after.
Oh, here is love, and here is truth. Oh, here is love,
Is love.
No, I am brave. Oh, family descent, how great thy charm, thy sway, how excellent. Come one and all, undaunted men in blue. A crisis now, affairs are coming to.
Body and in mind, you're timidly inclined, and anything but blind. The danger that's behind. Yet when the danger's near, we manage to appear as insensible to fear as anybody here, as anybody here.
Come, Sergeant, approach. Young Frederick was to have led you to death and glory.
That is not a pleasant way of putting it.
No matter, he will so lead you, for he has allied himself once more with his old associates.
He has acted shamefully.
You speak falsely. You know nothing about it. He has acted nobly.
He has acted nobly.
Dearly as I loved him before, his heroic sacrifice to a sense of duty has endeared him to me tenfold. He has done his duty. I will do mine.
Right.
Go ye and do yours.
This is perplexing.
We cannot understand it at all.
Still, as he is actuated by a sense of duty,
That makes a difference.
No matter, we must do our best to capture these pirates alone. It is most distressing to us to be the agents whereby our erring fellow creatures are deprived of that liberty which is so dear to us all.
It is.
But we should have thought of that before we joined the force.
We should.
It's too late now. When a felon's not engaged in his employment, or maturing his felonious little plans, his capacity for innocent enjoyment is just as good as any honest man's. Our feelings we with difficulty smother, when constabulary duties to be done. Still one consideration with another. A policeman's thought is not a happy one. Oh, when constabulary duties to be done, policeman's thought is not a happy one. Oh!
A rollicking band of pirates we were tired of tossing on the sea. We're trying to hand the burglary with weapons grim and gory.
Hush, hush, I hear them on the man approaching. With stealthy steps the pirates are approaching.
We are not hunting for plates of gold. The story General Stanley told. We seek a penalty 50-fold for General Stanley's story.
They seek a penalty
50-fold. We seek a penalty 50-fold. They seek a penalty 50-fold for General Stanley's story.
They come in force with stealthy stride. Our obvious course is now to hide.
Cat-like tread upon a grave with steel. Silence tread, a cautious way we feel. No sound at all, we never speak a word. A fly's foot forward, we just hear so stealthily the pirates streak while the house so soundly sleeps. Comrades who plow the sea, trust your navigation. Take another station. Raspberry piracy. Write the little burglary. Comrades who plow
be a light inside. The Major General comes, so quickly hide.
Yes, yes.
The Major General comes.
Yes, yes. The Major General comes.
Yes, yes, the Major General comes. Tormented with the anguish dread of falsehood unatoned, I lay upon my sleepless bed and tossed and turned and groaned. The man who finds his conscience ache no peace at all enjoys. And as I lay in bed awake, I thought I heard a noise.
He thought he heard a noise. Ha
No, no, all is still, dale on hill. My mind is set at ease, so still the scene. It must have been the sighing of the breeze. Sighing softly to the river comes the loving breeze, setting nature all a quiver, rustling through the trees.
The trees.
And the brook in rippling measure laughs so very long, while the poplars in the pleasure wave their arms above.
Yes, the trees for very love wave their leafy arms above. River, river, little river, may thy loving prosper ever, and see the poplar tree.
May thy
With happy me, heaven see the poplar tree,
courted by
a
fickle breeze.
Now what is this and what is that, and why does father leave his rest at such a time of night? Is this so very incompletely dressed? Your father is and always was the most methodical of men. It's his invariable rule to go to bed at half past. What strange occurrence can it be that draws your father from his rest at such a time of night? Is this so very incompletely dressed? So very incompletely dressed at such a time of night.
Forward, my men, and seize the general there! His life is over!
The pirates of Penzance!
Yes, we're the pirates of despair!
Friedrich here, oh joy, oh rapture! Summon your men and effect the capture! Frederick Seymour!
Beautiful Mabel, I would if I could, but I am not able.
He's telling the truth, he is not evil. With base deceit, you worked upon our feelings. Revenge is sweet and flavors all our dealings. With courage rare and resolution madly, for death prepare, unhappy General Stanley.
Is he to die, unshriven, unannealed? Will no one in his cause a weapon wield?
Yes, we are here, no hither to conceal. Some to constabulary pirates yield. Advantage you've contrived, but your proud triumph will not be long-lived. Don't say you're orphans, for we know that game. On your allegiance we've a stronger claim.
We charge you yield. We charge you yield. In Queen Victoria's name. We charge you yield. In
love our house of peers. I pray you pardon me, ex-pirate king. Peers will be peers, and youth will have its fling. Resume your ranks and legislative duties and propose to my daughters, all of whom are beauties.
At length we are provided with unusual facility to change piratic crime to dignified respectability.
Combined, I needn't say for the unparalleled felicity of what we have been longing for, unbounded domesticity.
Tomorrow morning early we will quickly be personified.
The many alley couples conjugally matrimonified.
And this shall be accomplished by the Doctor of Divinity, who happily resides in the immediate vicinity. Who happily resides in the immediate vicinity. Who happily resides in the immediate vicinity. Who happily resides in the immediate vicinity.
For my military knowledge, so I'm plucky and adventurous, has only prepared down to the beginning of the century, but still, in loving my sweet daughters, 8 or 9 or more in all, I've shown myself the model of a modern major general.
But still in loving history, daughters 8 or 9 or more in all, short of